You are listening to the Fringe Radio Network. FringeRadioNetwork.com.
You're listening to Earth Oddity, a weekly odyssey into all the oddity planet Earth has to offer. And now, serving it up are Christopher Tiny Sullivan and John Long.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Earth Oddity Podcast. I'm Tiny. Sitting across from me is my best friend, John Long.
What's up?
Together, we are the bad boys of Southern evangelical humor, the unauthorized, the unofficial, and the unwanted voices of Southern Baptists across the nation. We thank you for joining us.
Yes, we are glad you are here with us for another episode. Got some really great and interesting stories this week. We do. Got a guy who died trying to propose to his wife. Went in on this last week. So.
You tried to warn him.
That's right. Yeah, he did not listen. That's why everyone needs to share these episodes with other people. I'm trying to save people's lives.
Yes.
I mean, it's a service to the community, really, is what we do.
Well, how was your week?
Not great, but not horrible.
Okay.
Had 2 days of meetings in the middle of it, or I had to present. Mm-hmm. And so that was a little interesting. I didn't have a ton of time to prepare for it, but I didn't have to travel as much last week, so that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, got to go to the football game, by the way.
Awesome.
Miserable, 100% miserable. It was so hot. They had concrete stands,
Yeah.
And literally 5 minutes after sitting down, I was like, my butt is cooking. It was radiating.
We won, though.
Well, no, I'm not talking about the Bama game. I'm talking about Thomas's middle school game.
Oh.
Yeah, no, they got destroyed.
Never mind.
They got the pants beat off of them. But yeah, I didn't go to the Bama game yesterday.
Did you find out who the lady was that?
No, she wasn't at the gate because I was going to be like, hey, I'm getting in this week and let her know what was up. But she wasn't there. It was two other ladies. So.
Huh.
I imagine they rotate through the teachers. No,
yeah, sure
I didn't want to bring up. I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble or anything, I just
John the Merciful.
I would just assume be mad at her in my mind for forever. Yeah, but it was an all right week. How was yours?
It was pretty good. We went to the Space and Rocket Center in Huntsville.
Oh, nice.
Eli decided to wear his, he's going to be an astronaut for Fall Festival this year.
Okay, cool.
Any new listeners, Baptist, we don't have Halloween.
No,
we have Fall Festival.
Straight Fall Festival.
Totally different.
Right. These kids dress up in costumes. They get candy. It just happens in the church parking lot.
Yes.
So, and in the gym. So.
Right.
It's definitely not Halloween.
But he decided to wear his astronaut costume to the Space and Rocket Center.
So you bought all in on the Globe Earth now. You went to Propaganda Central for it, right?
I did find myself thinking the lengths that these people will go to.
Right, just to convince you.
To convince people that the world is,
That's right.
is round.
That's right.
Because we all know it's really a cube shape.
Yeah. Yes. It's pretty impressive, though. I love the Space and Rocket
It's really
Center.
cool.
For everybody who doesn't know, we built the Saturn. I mean, us Alabamians.
Yes.
I know you listen to us, you don't think we're capable of anything, but we built the Saturn V rocket that took us to the moon here in Huntsville, Alabama. And that's where all the research went to it. That's where Dr. von Braun came, may or may not have been a Nazi.
I was just fixing to say, there's a lot of Werner von Braun stuff there, and there's a big exhibit that's coming.
Yeah.
And I leaned over to my wife and I was like, by the way, he was a Nazi, right? And right as I said that, this lady walks up there, and she was like, can I help you find something?
I think it's wild, though. Out of all the places they could have sent the Nazi was to Alabama. You're like, oh, no, he'll feel comfortable down there. He'll be fine.
Punishment fits the crime.
You'll find plenty of people that'll talk to him. He's good. He's good. Yeah, but I love the Space and Rocket Center. I'm glad you had fun, man.
Yeah.
That's a good trip, if anybody's around, it's just off I-65 when you come into Alabama up in Huntsville, right? Right, yeah, it's just off I-65 because they have that big rest area up there that has a rocket.
They do, yes, that's right.
Which I always used to tell my kid that was a space and rocket center when we were like going on vacation. This is where we stop and pee and look at the rocket. They launched it from here, buddy.
They got the Coke machines over there,
right? Yeah,
just underneath the booster, the engines,
your snacks and everything. Yes. Well, you want me to kick it off this week?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
All right. Well, speaking of kickoff, let's talk about Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown has been in the news a lot here lately.
He has.
For those who don't know, he was an all-pro wide receiver, probably one of the better wide receivers in the league. Requested to be released, basically talked himself into a trade. He acted like a free agent from Pittsburgh. They traded him to Buffalo. He was in Buffalo for like 2 seconds before they were like, we can't deal with this dude, and he refused to play for Buffalo. And so they traded him to Oakland, the Raiders.
Right.
Who knows? The Raiders are moving to Vegas. I don't even know. And he missed most, if not all, of training camp with his feet that got burned in a cryogenic therapy thing. And he didn't wear the right shoes in it.
Whoops.
Yeah. And also his helmet, there was a whole big controversy. And then at the end of the training camp, he got in a fight with the GM, called the GM a cracker, by the way.
Okay.
And so they released him. And then, of course, the New England Patriots do what the New England Patriots do, and they signed him. And right after that happened, he had like some sexual assault allegations come out, and this allegation that's here in this story, which...
And this is the worst of the worst right here.
Yeah. I mean, brace yourself. A Pittsburgh doctor claims Antonio Brown repeatedly farted in his face and owes him $11,500. A Pittsburgh area doctor is the latest to file a lawsuit against former Steelers wide receiver Antonio Brown. Monroeville's Dr. Victor Prisk has filed a lawsuit in Pennsylvania claiming that Brown owes him $11,500 in unpaid fees. And not only that, according to the New York Post, the doctor claims Brown repeatedly farted in his face and laughed about it during a consultation where he showed up 3 hours late. Which maybe took a hot air balloon to it. Because when he showed up to the Raiders training camp, he showed up in a hot air balloon. Because why would you not? Dr. Priss said he was wary of signing Brown because of his flighty reputation for not paying bills. TMZ even obtained a video of an appointment in August where Brown could be heard farting and laughing about it as Priss tests his body fat.
Wow.
Precious video, by the way. It just seems childish to me, Priss told the Sports Illustrated. I'm a doctor and this man is farting in my face. Priss runs Prisk Orthopedics and Wellness in Monroeville, and he filed the suit earlier this month. The new allegations are part of a Sports Illustrated report in which another woman accused Brown of sexual misconduct in 2017. Now, depending on which side of the story you are, which I don't know who is an Antonio Brown fan anymore. He's apparently pissed everyone off in the league. But some people are saying this lady's trying to extort money from him.
Right.
All right. Now, he sent some texts this week threatening this lady and her kid, which is why the Patriots released him.
And her kid?
Yeah.
What'd he do?
I don't know. He played one game for the Patriots, caught a touchdown, and then they released him. So it says, anyways, the first accusation came days after the wide receiver was released from Oakland and signed with the Patriots. His former trainer filed a federal lawsuit against Brown, accusing him of 3 separate accounts of sexual assault and rape. The Sports Illustrated report details the story of an anonymous woman who claims she was hired by Brown to paint a mural of him in his Pittsburgh home. And according to the report, Brown flirted with her and made her uncomfortable before the atmosphere curdled. The woman told Sports Illustrated that she was kneeling and painting when she turned around and Brown was standing behind her, naked.
Oh, no.
Holding a small hand towel. Bad look. Bad look to hold a small hand towel over his private parts. So that's all this says. Now, the bulk of this story, a really bad look. You got to go with a big towel, no matter what. The crux of this story, though, is that he was farting in this doctor's face and allowed it to be recorded, too, you know, and he owes the doctor money. Now, Antonio Brown did come out and showed some text messages between him and the doctor. Because if you didn't know, Antonio Brown's very active on social media. Yes. Where him and the doctor seemed to be laughing about it and they were all buddy-buddy or something. But I'm sure the doctor's more or less going, hey, I need my money, dude.
Yeah, like
you know?
this is hilarious as long as you're signing that check.
As long as you're sending me a check, we're still good.
But when I don't get paid, this isn't funny anymore.
Not funny at all. Yeah. So Antonio Brown has cost himself untold millions of dollars this past week, really this past month.
He's been cut for good now, right?
Yeah. And he actually came out this morning. I saw it before we were going to church on his little Twitter, which still no one else has found me on Twitter, and said that he didn't think he would play in the NFL, or he was done playing in the NFL. Probably because no one wants to sign him. I was about to say
probably because nobody wants to hire him.
And he wants all his money because he's like, these people aren't giving me the money I deserve. But he signed a contract that basically gave the Patriots the power to cut him whenever without any repercussions, and only paid him what he was owed for his basically time served.
And now they are executing that call, their right to do so.
Yes, because he went in on, if I don't want to go too far, the Patriots owner, Robert Kraft, back probably fall of last year, spring of this year, I don't remember the exact same time frame, he got caught in a quote-unquote massage parlor, and he made some, Antonio Brown made some allegation, or he alluded to that fact in several of these tweets, which another reporter said, once he did that, Robert Kraft was like, I'll never pay him a cent, no matter what the court says. So he doubled down on being stupid. So, yeah, it's pretty wild. If you're not into sports, you may not think any of this is interesting outside of a guy farting in a doctor's face that he owes $11,500 to, which is a wild move, by the way. Wild move.
I mean, it's just, you always have the right to remain silent.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not just when you're under arrest.
Right, yeah. You don't have to.
And I tell my son, what is it about people? They just want to talk. They just can't shut up.
My oldest is like that. My oldest cannot just not get in an argument. Like the other night, his mom was hollering at him about something, not hollering. Dieter doesn't really holler, but she was upset. Like he didn't put up his clothes or whatever it was. Well, he kept coming back with reasons why he didn't. And, Hudson did this and Libby did this, And
if you just say, I'm sorry, I'll do it right now.
Right. Yes.
It'll be over with.
Yeah, it's over with. The hollering part's over with. You spend 10 minutes putting up your clothes and everybody's happy.
Yeah.
And that was a point I made to him. I was like, because now I got to go downstairs and deal with the pissed off wife, Right. And I had nothing to do with this, I was in a wholly different part of the house and this went on. And now I got to go downstairs and listen to her rant for about the next 20 minutes while we're trying to go to sleep.
This is my fault.
Right. Yeah. Because I didn't do a good enough job somewhere along the line. This is now my fault. And I'm like, look, man, sometimes you just got to take the loss and go on, Right. And the fact that Antonio Brown has no friends, apparently, that will tell him, hey, buddy, put your phone down. Quit tweeting all this stuff out. Quit posting text messages.
Run out there and catch the ball.
Yeah, right.
And maybe do a little dance.
Yeah.
And that's all.
Yeah, and be a millionaire.
Yes. Yeah? Don't say anything else. You can fart around your buddies, but, pay your bills.
Right.
Catch the ball.
Lay off the sexual assault.
Yes.
We want to steer away from that, too. Yeah, but apparently he doesn't have any friends. And one of the funny things about him talking about how he's owed all this guaranteed money is that when he got released from the Raiders, he posted this video of him like running around his yard hollering and screaming about how happy he was they let him go, and he like called his grandma and he's like, Grandma, I'm free, Grandma, I'm free. And now he's like, I need my money, guys. Like what an idiot. It's so funny.
Well, you know what, he should just come back and he should post like an apology video.
Yeah, right. Yes. Well, and part of all that weird part where he was getting cut from the Raiders, he posted a video that had a phone call recording between him and John Gruden, the coach of the Raiders, in it, where the Raiders, he was like, hey, we just need you to come back and play football. We want you to be a member of the team and all that, and you're like, hey, man, you posted a private conversation on your Instagram page or whatever it was on. Yeah. It's very wild. And then he called Mike Mayock a cracker, and everybody went nuts about that because anytime white people have a chance to be like, oh, you're using a racial slur. People go crazy. Which, just my general advice for Antonio, I know you're a big listener to the show, honky's a much better word to use. You know? I love the word honky, you know?
You know what? I'll be honest. I'm over it. You know, people can call me what they want to call me.
Right, yeah.
But, just my advice is just, they can't do anything now, but just pay your bills and catch the ball.
Yeah, right.
That's all you got to do.
Right, yeah. Yeah, but everybody was outraged over him. They're like, well, what if you flipped the roles and it was a white player calling a black GM that? And people were like, well, Riley Cooper, who played at Florida, by the way, called some people that, the N-word, and he stayed in the league for like another 6 years after it happened. So, it's like really, but, anytime you're a certain group of white people get a chance to be like, oh my goodness.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. And that went on all too. All of this has been your sports update from Earth Oddity for those of you who care nothing about sports. And I would just say, if you didn't bet the Colts this week, too bad for you. It was a good week to bet them because I was watching that game before I fell asleep today.
Well, John, I tell you what, this was a very disappointing week in a lot of ways. And one of them was the Area 51 raid, complete dud.
Oh, man.
I know.
I was expecting we were going to find out all the secrets.
Biggest disappointment of 2019.
Oh.
Storm Area 51. Hundreds of people gather at U.S. military base to see them aliens. Now, I want to point out hundreds.
100 showed up.
I think it was actually 200, so you can technically say hundreds.
Okay.
But 2 million were supposed to be there.
A lot of people said they were going on Facebook, which anybody who's ever had a band before knows how that works, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
Anyway, fears that thousands of alien hunters could attempt to storm Area 51 after responding to a viral Facebook event have proved unfounded, with fewer than 200 people turning up at the gates of the secretive U.S. military base.
Okay.
Most left peacefully after heated warnings from police, although authorities said that 2 people were arrested at the perimeter of the remote facility in Nevada. It was a far cry from the millions who signed up to storm Area 51, which was a joke Facebook event. We can say that now because it turns out it's totally a joke.
Right. Yeah, definitely a joke.
Which suggested attendees all meet up to see them aliens at the base, which conspiracy theorists claim holds evidence of extraterrestrials. The event page was later shut down following condemnation from American authorities and locals who feared a disaster if huge crowds descended on the harsh desert area where internet, phone signal, and credit card facilities are scarce. But the invitation nonetheless spawned alien-themed festivals in the tiny Nevada town of Rachel. And is that a Hyco?
Oh, sure.
Maybe?
Yeah, no, it's definitely it.
Nearest the military site. Lincoln County Sheriff Kerry Lee estimated that about 1,500 people had gathered at the festival sites and said that more than 150 people made the rugged trip several additional miles on bone-rattling dirt roads to get within selfie distance of the gates.
Selfie distance.
Another group of about 40 people gathered at a different gate in the Armagosa Valley. Okay. So they didn't get the right email.
Right. They just stopped at the first one they saw.
They showed up. Where's everybody at? The military had issued stern warnings that lethal force could be used if people entered the Nevada test and training range.
Because you can't see the aliens. They don't want you to see the aliens.
And local and state officials said that arrest would be made if people tried. Also last week, before this event, I think there were 2 Dutch YouTubers that got arrested trying to sneak into the facility.
I saw that. Yeah. I also saw a news reporter doing a report, and a guy
Naruto runs behind him.
Behind him.
Yes.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome.
The sheriff said that it's public land and they're allowed to go up to the gate as long as they don't cross the boundary. A music group called Wiley Savage erected a stage on Thursday near the Little Ailey Inn in Rachel and began playing after dark for several hundred campers who braved overnight temperatures of about 7 degrees Celsius.
Okay.
Don't know what that is.
0 degrees is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So it was probably about 40 degrees, I would imagine.
Cold, but not...
Yeah, not horrible.
Yeah, not harsh.
Yeah. I've camped in way worse.
Well, anyway, so Basically,
Which, hey, send some of that cold weather over here. You know,
I know.
Let's just talk about that for a minute.
We've had some record-breaking
Oh, it's horrible.
temperatures in September this year.
It only got up to like 87 yesterday, though, and it was like everyone felt it was wintertime around here, you know.
Mm-hmm. Check this out. Daniel Martinez, who is 31, a Pokemon collectible card dealer.
It's the problem with Pokemon stuff, I've told y'all.
From Pomona, California, was among those who were dancing in the makeshift festival grounds.
Okay.
Here's a big open space for people to be, he said. One person starts something and it infects everybody with positivity.
Oh, yeah.
Anything can happen if you give people a place to be.
That's right.
Not exactly storming the gates.
Don't see too many. I hadn't heard of any baseball card collectors that are at the Storm Area 51 event.
Are there any baseball card collectors anymore?
Sure, they're all like 40-year-old men like myself.
They're not. Yeah. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, dude, baseball cards was where it was at. There was like 5 or 6 baseball card shops in the area.
Yep.
All that's over with.
Yeah, well, when everybody got in it and the prices started tanking, people were like, I guess I'm out now. But there's still a market for baseball cards.
My dad, he's got a huge collection somewhere.
He should talk to my dad because my dad has a huge collection too.
Does he have y'all's collection?
Well, yeah, hours together.
Yeah.
He ever so often goes through them and takes the ones that are more expensive out, puts them in the safe deposit box.
Oh,
so
wow.
one day I'll have my card collection back.
Maybe,
yeah.
Well, anyway, I guess, you know, a couple hundred people showed up to the gate, and then what, about 1,500 people showed up in town.
Yeah.
So, like, not even the people who showed up in town were willing to go out there to the gate and chant, clap them cheeks.
To me, the greatest thing about it all is probably they moved the Army or Air Force or whoever probably moved a lot of resources over to Area 51 just in case a couple million people showed up to be ready to kill all of us. So,
yeah.
But then it just turned out being the like super nerds who showed up out there.
Well, I have something I would like to say to all those people who showed up, and it's
Yeah, I should have went ahead and tried to get in.
What are y'all, chicken?
Yeah,
Come on.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't think the Pokemon collector is the bravest sect of people.
Oh, no. I saw the memes. I thought y'all were going to clap them cheeks. What happened?
I don't know. We had a few people in our group who said they were going and just never did.
Yeah.
Shout out to David. Yeah. he did put a good Photoshop up of himself.
He did.
And I said I was a little disappointed game day wasn't at Area 51. You know? That would have been an excellent.
That would have been epic.
Yeah, right. That would have been epic if they could have done that.
Man.
You know, they could set out outside the gate and all that and have everybody behind them with signs.
They could have had Dan Aykroyd be their celebrity.
Oh, guest picker?
Yeah, picker.
That's right. That's right. Which, shout out to Pittsburgh, who beat the reigning 2-time national champ, University of Central Florida, this week here, this past Saturday. Shout out to them. And all the Pitt fans. We're huge in Pittsburgh. People love us. That's why we let off with an Antonio Brown story. Well, Tiny, let's move on here.
Let's do it.
To something that I spent a little time last week talking about, and that is how lame it is that people go crazy with their proposals nowadays. Now, I don't think we heard from any of our female listeners like I asked about why would they rather their guy just do a normal proposal or not. But this guy definitely did not listen to our show. And the headline reads, this is from BuzzFeed News, a man died while diving underwater to propose to his girlfriend.
Oh, man.
Sad story.
Could this have been prevented?
Definitely could have. 100% preventable.
Let's find out how
here.
this happened.
A man died while diving underwater to propose to his girlfriend at a resort off the coast of Tanzania. Which I didn't know there were resorts in Tanzania. Of course, I did think Auckland was a country that I'd never heard of, too.
Geography is not American strong suit.
No. There's a reason they make our country really big on every map. That's all we ever study. We'll know some state capitals and stuff, but that's it. We don't know anything about anybody else's country.
We have, a 200-year history, basically?
Yeah.
And that's what we teach. That's what we learn in history.
That's all we learn.
We study that 200 years.
Right. Everything that happened before that is inconsequential.
1776 till now.
That's right.
That's what we learn.
The couple had traveled from Louisiana on Thursday were staying in the luxury Manta Resort, which is famous for its floating accommodations that include underwater rooms.
I bet that would be cool.
Yeah. Kanisha Antone wrote on Facebook, because that's where you go to mourn, that she was in the underwater room when her boyfriend, Steven Weber, tapped on the glass with a message and a ring.
Mm-hmm.
I can't hold my breath long enough to tell you everything I love about you, but everything I love about you, I love more every day, he said in a note pressed against the glass. Will you please be my wife? Marry me.
Okay.
Antoine said that Weber didn't make it out of the water, and he never got to hear her say yes.
Oh, no.
Yeah, very tragic. She's got pictures of like the notes and all that under there. You have to check the show notes, people.
So what, he swam down there to put this note against the glass, but
right.
Like, why did he just not have enough air?
Well, it says, we never got to embrace and celebrate the beginning of the rest of our lives together, as the best day of our lives turned into the worst in the cruelest twist of fate imaginable, Antoine said. I will try to take solace in the fact that we enjoyed the most amazing bucket list experiences these past few days, and that we were both so happy and absolutely giddy with excitement in our final moments together. A spokesman for the State Department said it was aware of the death and was prepared to assist if necessary. We offer our sincerest condolences to the family on their loss. The CEO of the resort said, well, he didn't immediately respond to questions, but he did release a statement saying everyone is shaken to the core. In the her post, she shared a video of it, because why would you not video it?
Oh, no.
And
which is now,
yeah.
I mean, it's basically a snuff film, right?
Yes.
I mean,
right.
It could be on Faces of Death now.
But apparently, it doesn't really say what happened, like how he drowned. It doesn't say like if a shark ate him or what, you know. I would imagine he maybe was trying to get back up, got hung underneath the room or whatever, and probably couldn't make it out before he ran out of breath. That's my speculation. But let this be a lesson to you, young men out there. If the guy would have just gotten on his knees and said all this to her face, it would have meant exactly the same amount, and he would have been alive.
Would she have said yes if he didn't do any of this?
I think she would have. She sounds like she loves him.
Yes.
She says, I know that wherever in the universe Steven's spirit now resides, I could give her a clue on one of the others, really only a couple of different places. That is exactly what he's doing, giving love and spreading joy and laughter. And knowing him, always quick with an off-color joke, he's probably entertaining someone with a story about how he royally screwed up that proposal and died while being extra.
Okay, can we laugh at that? Because she made a very funny joke.
Oh, yeah. So just be aware, young man. Don't go to these lengths to ask your woman to marry you.
Well, here's my question. Does the resort, do they have scuba gear?
Possibly.
Because he probably could have just plunked down $50.
Well, you know,
and gone down with a tank.
And I was thinking, if this was Deidre and I, I would have asked her to marry me in the room, and then waited till she went in the underwater room and like dove in the water and went down there and put my butt cheeks up against the glass. That would have been me. But I would have done the proposal in person.
Yeah.
But you ever get a chance to put your butt cheeks against some glass, you need to. It's a great American pastime. So that's how she and I differ from other people. Yeah. I hate it for the guy, and his family.
That's terrible.
It's tough. And for the young lady who had to deal with that.
Imagine the wide range of emotions she must have felt.
Yeah, in a very short time. She probably chilled out in that room for a little while longer, like, oh, he'll be in a little bit,
Oh, no.
Like, oh, yeah, he's going to walk through the door here any second. And then after a little while, she's like, hey, Steven? Hey, Steven.
Oh, no.
Where you at? Like one of those before she came up out of there and was like, hey, my little guy's missing here.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's terrible.
Tough. This is why you shouldn't go crazy with your proposals. Just tell this to everybody once again. Just use your words. Get on your knees like a man, like men have done for hundreds of years, and propose and look her straight in the eye and do it. So it'll save a life.
This is Earth Oddity.
Well, John, did you know that you can get fined for trying to fight a grizzly bear?
I did not know that.
Well, this man found out. Man fined for trying to fight grizzly bear. A visitor to Banff National Park, is that how you say that?
Sounds right.
Wanted to wrestle a grizzly, but he was lucky to make it out unscathed, says expert.
Oh, so he went with the purpose and intent of wrestling a grizzly.
Apparently.
Okay.
Now, this is from Backpacker Magazine. And it says, here at Backpacker, we've covered a handful of incidents of bears mauling humans, but a human trying to attack a bear, that's a first. A case involving a man taunting a grizzly bear in Banff National Park in 2015 finally came to trial last week after the defendant missed 2 previous court dates.
Oh, okay.
I guess he was out trying to fight some other bear. I don't know.
Yep.
The judge fined Devin Mitzwing, who was seen yelling and throwing rocks at a grizzly beside the park road, 4,000 Canadian dollars. According to witnesses, Mitzwing and a companion pulled over beside the Icefields Parkway and began shouting at the young grizzly on June 15th, 2015. Photographs of the incident show the distance between him and the bear to be no more than a handful of yards. Then he removed his shirt and assumed a boxing stance, taunting the bear. Mitzwing, who police said was intoxicated, imagine that,
yeah,
eventually began to run at the bear, which fled into the woods. I wonder if he was Naruto running.
I don't know. It's wild the bear ran, though.
I know. I mean, I guess that bear was like, oh, something is wrong with this guy.
Hey, this dude's crazy.
Yes.
That meat's going to be spoiled.
This falls into the category of stupid human tricks where people out of sync with nature put themselves and wildlife at risk for a coveted selfie or photo with a bear, said bear biologist Tom Smith. According to Smith, who has studied human-bear interactions for over 2 decades, didn't know that was an area of study.
Yeah, me either.
But anyway, such an incident could lead to the person becoming seriously injured and the bear being killed as a result. Or, if not killed, the bear may repeat this behavior with other unsuspecting persons who simply pulled over to take a photo and now suffer the indiscretions of others. So I guess this could be like a, hey, human tastes pretty good.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And now here's another human. Yeah, I'm going to get myself a taste.
Yeah, you can't let them taste human blood. Everybody knows that.
Money from Mitzwing's $4,000 fine will go toward Canada's Environmental Damages Fund, which fund conservation and environmental restoration projects. Although the bear didn't pay him any attention, fortunately the judge did, and he threw the book at this shirtless ninja, said Smith. Not sure what I can say other than score bear 1, human 0.
Okay.
But
have we considered that maybe he was trying to become the greatest college football coach of all time, like Bear Bryant?
Yeah.
Did they question him about that?
Not that I'm aware of.
We got a little background music.
Sorry about that.
That's how Bear Bryant got his nickname. He wrestled a bear.
And won? Did he win? I don't know.
I think he did.
That part of the story is usually left out.
He ain't never been nothing but a winner, Tiny.
Well, that's true.
That's all you need to know. He definitely won, all right? Then went on to win 6 national championships at the University of Alabama.
I tell you what, 4,000 Canadian dollars, I would say he got off easy.
Yeah, I would think so, too. He could have died.
He could have.
I mean, real fast. Those grizzly bears are not to be messed with.
I don't want to fight a bear unless I have to.
Yeah, right.
What would it take for you to fight a bear? I think one of my kids would have to be in the jaws of the bear.
Right. Yeah.
For me to attack it.
Yeah, if one was trying to attack my kid, but Deidre probably, I let her go. But the kids, they're young, I'm kidding. I'd fight for my wife, too. Yeah, that's probably all I would do. I mean, that'd be about the only thing. Or, like another person. I couldn't watch a bear attack, and it depends on the person. But most people, I couldn't watch a bear attack them and not jump in and help.
Right.
But it's going to take a lot,
Yeah.
Those bears are rough, Even the ones in the Smokies.
I tell you what, though, I'm not going to jump in barehanded. know?
I pick up a stick or something at least.
Right.
I mean, it depends on what you got around. Some people are strapped at all times.
I've got a pocket knife.
Yeah, I'm strapped with a pocket knife. I'll stab it right in the jugular.
The what?
The jugular.
Gotcha.
Isn't that what it's called? Yeah, I don't know. It'd be tough. Yeah, you couldn't let it kill your family without putting up a fight. But dying at the hands of an animal is one of my least ways I want to die, because it'll just eat you alive.
Well, you've mentioned before that he killed the bear that killed him on your headstone.
Right, I do.
But you don't want it to be true. You just want it to be on there.
I just want it to be on there. Because in 50 years, it's not going to matter. Nobody's going to really remember, I
mean, there's only going to be probably like one or two people that read that anyway. But those one or two people are going to be like, oh, wow.
Yeah, this dude sounds like he was... that was a man's man right there. I really died of like a heart attack because I have a horrible diet and everything. Yeah. Well, let's move on. This comes to us from The Advocate.
Okay.
TheAdvocate.com. And it says, in a wild encounter, a woman bites testicles of tiger truck stop camel to escape.
What?
Golly.
That's a wild headline.
I'm trying to figure out how that even works.
Well, you're about to find out.
Okay.
A bizarre encounter unfolded at the Tiger Truck Stop in Gross Tate last week, or Gross Tate, I'm sorry, I said it wrong. Last week.
Not Gross Taint, right?
No. When a Florida truck driver and her husband crawled into a camel's enclosure at the truck stop, and the camel sat on the woman who used her teeth to bite the camel's testicles to escape. All right, just so we're all on the same page here, because that was a lot of information. All right, Gross Tate's about half an hour outside of Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
What's the name of the place again?
Gross Tate.
I got you.
It's about half an hour outside of Baton Rouge. It's called the Tiger Truck Stop. They used to have a tiger at this truck stop. Tiger has since passed away. Now they got a camel, all right, because... I don't know if they're going to rebrand to the Camel Truck Stop.
They didn't have the money to spend on like new signage.
They'll get a new sign, right? Well, a truck driver from Florida, of course, and his wife crawled into the camel enclosure at the truck stop, which is wild just to say that much. The camel enclosure at the truck stop, and the camel sat on the woman, who then used her teeth to bite the camel's testicles to escape.
I imagine it worked.
Yeah. According to the parish sheriff's office, the woman's husband threw doggy treats under Casper, the camel's fence, which is about 6 feet high. Surveillance video and interviews with witnesses showed the couple's dog, who is hard of hearing, crawling into the pen to retrieve the treats and began interacting with the camel. The woman then crawled in to recover her pet, and her husband followed behind. The camel sat on the woman, and she used her teeth to ward off the animal, a male dromedary. She said, "I bit his balls to get him off of me. I bit his testicles to get him off of me," Iberville Parish Deputy Lewis Hamilton Jr. said. The truck stop, located about 20 minutes outside of Baton Rouge, keeps a camel named Casper, and for many years controversially kept a tiger for visitors on site to see. Traveling with her husband, the woman stopped at the truck stop and let her dog out to use the bathroom. The truck stop was not found liable for any injuries, as the camel was properly enclosed and warning signs instructed visitors not to enter the pen. The camel has never been aggressive. The camel has never gotten out and never caused any issues. In fact, the husband and wife stated before that we've been here before and we've never had any problems, Hamilton, who was the deputy, said.
What day did this happen?
This was updated at 12:58 of today.
Okay.
So probably yesterday, I would imagine.
I thought it might have been hump day.
Yes. That's good. That was a good one.
I imagine said that the dog and the camel were interacting. Yeah. That camel was like, hey dog, what day is today? You know what day today is?
Now, the truck stop didn't do anything wrong. They had their camel put up like it was supposed to be. But the couple were both cited for leash law violation and criminal trespassing.
Okay, it makes perfect sense.
In Louisiana, the law states that no person shall permit any dog in his or her possession to run at large on any unenclosed land or trespass upon any enclosed or unenclosed lands of another. So, she not only got sat on by a camel, but now they got a ticket too. The thing rounds out here says, the Gross Tate truck stop has been fending off.
What truck stop?
Gross Tate.
Okay.
All right. Has been fending off animal rights activists for years who wanted the tiger removed from his property. The tiger died last year after 17 years living in captivity. The truck stop also keeps a, what's that, coati? A member of the raccoon family on site.
Okay.
The deputy said he was baffled by the entire incident and the behavior of the couple. My only question to her husband was, why did you throw the doggy treat under the fence? And he explained, he just said he wasn't thinking. He's just trying to get that dog in there with him to get a picture. I guarantee that's what it was. Man. Hey, honey, I'm going to throw his treat in there. You take a picture, a little Jim or whatever the dog's name is. And then it wouldn't come out. And who knows what the camel was doing? Could have been trying to step on him or whatever. Camels aren't the nicest, I don't think.
Are they not? I don't know.
Think so. And next thing you know, he sits on that lady's head. Like, what are you doing? Like, well, you bite his balls. I bet you he got up real quick, though. Don't you think?
I do not envy that camel.
No.
Also, don't know if I would have what it takes to escape that situation.
I'd just be like, I'm a goner. This is how he killed the camel that killed him. Yeah. I'm a goner.
He died on hump day.
It's just a whole wild thing all around. The fact that we have a camel at a truck stop, number one, is crazy. Yeah. But people have tried to sue this truck stop over the years, back when they had the tiger. Yeah. And they have all the proper permits and stuff, so there's nothing anybody can do.
I bet that truck stop sells a ton of cigarettes.
Yeah. Oh, you know it does. You know it does. Camels. Yeah. The fact that it's not named Joe Camel is pretty amazing, too. Yeah.
Anyway, you know what? I might should have talked about this next story here back when we were talking about Antonio Brown, because it's slightly related. Not to Antonio Brown, but there was a man who was charged in Scotland for repeatedly farting.
Oh, okay.
And I was unaware that you could be charged for that, but apparently you can.
It's a wonder I'm out of jail.
It says, a man in Scotland has been ordered to perform 75 hours of community service after intentionally, John, passing gas as police officers conducted a body cavity search.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, if I was the defendant in this case, I might say, well, you're the one who went looking.
That's right.
Maybe you shouldn't be so upset about what you found.
I'm sorry, I had a load of gun. Yeah. Had a few in the chamber there.
Police responded to a vehicle collision on the Lang Shotch in Aberdeen. Noticed Stuart Cook, 28, speaking to the driver of another car. After observing a strong marijuana odor emanating from Cook, officers searched him and his vehicle, finding a small amount of cannabis. According to the Evening Express, police cuffed Cook, who immediately began to scream and act aggressively. He was brought to the police station in Kitty Brewster, where he was booked and strip searched. During the procedure, officers claimed that Cook passed wind intentionally multiple times. Just get you some of that.
Intentionally. Okay.
Cook deliberately farted in the direction of the officer 3 times, stating, "How do you like that?" Reported prosecutor Lucy Simpson. His defense attorney, Laura Gracie, downplayed the incident, telling the court Cook had been smoking a cannabis joint at the time and he felt police overreacted in the way they dealt with him.
Sounds like it.
He became increasingly upset with them and he acted in the manner libeled.
Okay.
Cook pled guilty to possession of cannabis and to behaving in a threatening or abusive manner. He was admonished without penalty for the drug charge. This isn't the first time police have brought charges for breaking wind.
Oh, did not know that.
In 2008, 34-year-old Jose Cruz was pulled over in West Virginia for driving without his headlights on. Cruz failed multiple field sobriety tests, and he was taken to the police station to sleep it off. While there, a criminal complaint alleged that he deliberately passed gas and made a waving motion toward the police officer in an attempt to distribute the smell towards him.
That's a classic move. That's a classic move.
The gas, quote, the gas was very odorous and created contact of an insulting or provoking nature, the complaint stated.
Now, you telling me Jose Cruz has some stinking gas? I don't believe that.
Recommending a battery charge be filed, the Kanawha County Prosecutor's Office ultimately dropped the matter.
Okay.
And then, of course, it also mentioned the story that we had here several weeks back about the guy who was hiding from cops.
Yes.
And his fart gave him away.
Yes. Yes, that's true.
So,
well, it's wild. I didn't know you could get charged for that.
Yeah.
I think if I was the guy, I would have been like, the other officer was pulling my finger. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the whole thing is that this was during a strip search.
Yeah.
So,
Which I've gotten Libby so much on pull my finger now that like she will tell her friends, like, don't pull his finger. Yeah. That's pretty great. All right. Well, look, I got a few stories here, and I'm just going to let you choose.
Okay.
Right? Do you want to do massive semen explosion? Or Bridget the Midget? Is your choice here.
Let's see. Man. I'm going to take massive semen explosion.
Okay. All right. Sorry, Bridget the Midget, and all of the Bridget the Midget fans out there.
Yeah.
We'll not be covering her this week. Maybe next week, though.
If you're her boyfriend, maybe get some chaps.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Better be glad she didn't jump. She could have really hurt you. All right.
Anyway.
Massive semen explosion after a blaze hits Bull artificial insemination facility. Firefighters were forced to dodge projectiles.
Oh no. Bring an umbrella.
A huge fire at a cattle breeding facility. We called those the 5 M's when I was in college, but whatever. In Australia has caused thousands of dollars in damage after at least 100 cylinders containing bull semen were destroyed. Emergency services were called to the blaze in the early hours at Yarram Herd Services in Gippsland, Victoria. According to ABC, it took 10 fire crews more than 2 hours to fully extinguish the fire after it broke out around 3 a.m. local time.
I had no idea bull semen was so flammable.
Apparently it is. I don't know. Tastes funny. That's all I know. A spokesman for the County Fire Authority told Daily Mail Australia that the fire had completely shredded the building. County Fire Authority Gippsland Commander Chris, you're going to love this last name, Loshincole, said the crew had to be wary of projectiles coming at them while they tackled the blaze.
Oh, no.
The liquid inside the cylinders was rapidly expanding, and essentially the liquids of the cryogenic cylinders were just popping off the top, and projectiles were being thrown from the building, he said.
Dang.
So firefighters went into a defensive mode initially to protect themselves because they were also LPG cylinders. That's propane, right? Isn't that what LPG is?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's propane.
Okay.
And propane accessories at the neighboring property, and they did a magnificent job, Lo Shin Cole said. He also added that he has never had anything to do with the artificial insemination side of things before during his career. Well, he must not have needed money in college. Yarram Herd Services Committee Vice Chairman Aaron Thomas said the loss of 100 cryogenic cylinders of cattle semen will be a huge blow for the farmers. The actual cylinders are worth between $500 Australian dollars, which is about $342, and $1,000 per unit, but the semen inside them varies in price.
Okay.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah, like if you want Ferdinand's, then it's going to be more
yes, than if
you just want your standard bull.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Just like humans, some of us are better breeders than others, right? We are coming into the AI season. That's artificial insemination, not artificial intelligence season. So there would have been a substantial amounts of
There's
semen.
a season for that.
Oh yeah,
I had no idea.
Yeah, there's always, you got to get them in the mood.
Well, I thought it was it was artificial. It was any season.
Well,
any time was artificial insemination time.
So there would have been some substantial amounts of semen inside the tanks that we've lost, which was owned by our local farmers, and it can range in value from $5 per straw to $95 per straw. Thomas said the farmers have also lost a lot of equipment as a result of the fire. So this is significant damage, and it's going to have a flow-on effect on Yarram, especially after the drought that Yarram District has experienced over the last 12 months.
It mentioned equipment. Mm-hmm. Like, what kind of equipment do you think they use?
Well,
I mean, I guess what I'm really asking is, how do they collect the bull semen?
Well, very carefully.
I mean, do they use machinery to do that? And can you get that on Amazon?
Possibly.
Nothing but 5-star reviews.
Now, I'm 100%. I don't know about bulls, but I know about horses. Okay.
Okay.
Horses, they got like a table. They get the horse to get up, kind of mounted on it, and they basically crank it down until it's done, and then they save that. All right.
Okay.
I don't know if bulls are the same, but I would imagine it's got to be close to the same process, right? And I don't know if it's all hand done or not, but probably hand done, I would think.
They don't use one of those flashlight things.
I don't know what you're talking about, Tiny. Never heard of it. Flashlight? Explain that to me. What do you mean?
There's a dude I work with. Apparently, they make a flashlight for that.
I don't
know why. Don't know why you would. I don't understand why. I mean, if you're in the dark, it's not like you really need to see anything, do you?
With the bull, you don't want to grab the wrong thing. I'll just say that much. But yeah, I guess you just get in there and take the bull by the horns and get it done, right?
I don't know.
I don't either. But I think essentially, if it's like, thoroughbreds, that's pretty much, they basically, it's like a romantic interlude with a partner. And
welcome to planet Earth, y'all.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they sell that to other people. And they do the same thing for bulls. I can't remember the type of cattle. They have like a really expensive type of cattle down in Australia. It's like, it starts with a W. I can't remember the name of it. And I bet you it's
Wushu? I know it's Wushu beef.
Maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
Maybe.
I can't remember. I thought it was like Wagyu or something, but I could be wrong.
Maybe. I don't know.
But, I'm sure those people will sell that all over the world, and they've lost out on a lot of money.
Yeah.
And a lot of firemen had to go home and take a shower that night.
And agree to swear a blood pact and never discuss it again.
That's exactly right. They're like, hey, Tiny, you didn't have your face shield down. You got a little bit on you here. Let me wipe that off.
And now there's going to be a lot of bulls that are going to be putting in some overtime.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah, better rest up, bulls. It's going to be rough for you for a few weeks. Got to build our stock back up, I don't know how often you could do that with a bull.
I don't either.
Imagine if it's like a 13-year-old bull, probably a few times a day, Probably at least 4 or 5 times a day. Yeah. Whatever the 13 is in bull years.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, next story here.
I'm curious about this flashlight you were talking about. I'm going to have to look into that. Just see what that's about.
Anyway, Colorado City ends its topless ban after spending $300,000 defending it in court.
I said earlier, Colorado's turned into one of the most fun places to live in the entire country.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I don't know, maybe not someplace you want to raise your kids, but if you happen to be a kid, pretty awesome place to grow up.
If you're a 13-year-old boy, it's great. Yeah.
Fort Collins, Colorado, formally removed a public ordinance that banned women from going topless in public in a win for the, free the, can I say nipple? Free the nipple movement?
Yeah, that's anatomical.
It's a movement.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I've seen some of them that move. Yeah.
The city decided that after spending more than $300,000 defending the ordinance in court against two women who sued for discrimination, that it wasn't worth the cost, NBC News reported. The money was just better spent on other city priorities, a Fort Collins government spokesperson said.
Okay.
The 10th Circuit Court of Appeals ruled in February that the law discriminated against women, writing that it reinforced negative stereotypes depicting women's breast, but not men's breast as sex objects.
True.
The court rejected the idea that removing the ban would lead to women parading in front of elementary schools or swimming topless in the public swimming pool.
Okay.
According to NBC. The 10th Circuit acknowledged that they're in the minority, as most states have rejected such legal challenges. The Colorado ruling makes female toplessness legal in 6 states, including Colorado, Kansas, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Utah, and Wyoming.
A little disappointed in that list of states. None of them have a beach or anything there,
Yeah. Later this year, the U.S. Supreme Court will decide whether to hear a challenge to a topless ban in New Hampshire, NBC reported.
Wow.
So, man, I mean,
here's the thing. All right, we all know that the women we would like to see go around topless are not going to be the women going around topless, right? I mean, everybody understands that, right?
Well, is there a woman that you don't want to see topless?
Yeah, there are a few. Have you been to Walmart? There are a few that you're just like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, but the curiosity, you might
Nah,
want to.
Nah, I don't need to see everybody's. I know there's a philosophy that, if you've seen one, you want to see them all. But I don't necessarily need to, because I've stumbled onto some things on the internet before, and I'm just like, no, this is a bad turn, Like, I've learned my lesson in that regard. Yeah. You don't want the bad ones ruining it for the good ones.
Well, some might argue that the bad ones make the good ones look all the more good.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
I'm not here to shame anybody's body. You know? Like, hey, be proud of what you got. That's fine. Just know. Just like I know. I'm fat. I don't walk around without a shirt. Yeah. As a common courtesy.
I was just fixing to point out, maybe what they should do is just ban toplessness for both sexes.
Yeah, right.
Instead of moving in one direction, let's go the other way.
Right, yeah.
Sorry, Mark Wahlberg. Put a shirt on.
That's right. You're grossing all of us out, buddy.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that, Channing Tatum, but there are kids walking around looking at you. So
exactly.
Put a shirt on. God, be a decent human. Yeah. Be more like me and Tiny. We care about other people. We care about the youth.
And also, I can't, I don't know with the future, but I feel like once they do away with the topless ban, the next thing, then they're going to go around pointing out how men shouldn't be staring.
Yeah.
That's going to be the next step.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, well,
hey, look, you put us in a bind here.
You can't have your cake and eat it too.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you put us in a bind here with this, I'm trying my best, but I can't, my eyes just keep going there,
Time to open up a sunglass hut. So you would make thousands of dollars selling sunglasses.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, it's like with my wife, the other night, what night was it? Friday night, she went to a movie with her friends, went and watched something, I don't remember. Mm-hmm. And she got home, and we were in this very closet. And I was just like, hey, well, how was the movie and everything? She just starts taking off her shirt. And I'm like, I'm done listening, Like, you just can't start stripping down in front of me and expecting me to be engaged in this conversation. I'm sorry. That's a goal that's too lofty for me. I wish I was better than that, but I'm not. So, So anyways, maybe a beach town, I could see this going on. I would say Panama City, but I've been to Panama City plenty of times. So I don't know if that's the best one for it to be in. But Colorado sounds excellent vacation spot. Maybe I'll take a trip out there. Got some friends from college who live out there, so.
It's cold in the wintertime in Colorado, so.
It is. You're going to have to knit some little mittens or something.
I mean, it's only really going to be fun half the year.
If you knitted something for your boobs, would you call them tittens? Instead of mittens, you know? Yeah,
what's wrong with just calling it a sweater?
I guess you could put a toboggan over each one, you know? That would work. You get a little toboggan and go on each one. Hosting them bad boys up before you go out. I got it. Yeah. I mean, I personally know, like, my wife's well endowed, you know? No doubt about it. I admit it. I like big boobs, and I can't lie. I always have. I don't know what it is. And I know when she gets home, the first thing she likes to do is take off her bra because it's got to be an inconvenience to wear it all the time. I can just imagine, you know. And so, I mean, hey, good for the ladies. Just go ahead and just be free, you know. But just also be aware of who you are, you know.
and who's around you.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, in a surprising sub-story, sexual assaults have went up by 75% in Colorado, you know? So I don't know. Yeah, so just be aware.
Cause and effect. It's a it's a pain.
Yeah, right.
I got 99 blessings on blessings. Heard you have blessings. Blessings. More money, more blessings. I feel blessed.
John, we had a writing assignment last week.
Yeah, we did.
And we had one person write in.
Okay, good.
We're going to spin this into a 99 blessings segment.
All right. Yay. Yay. I need to get back on my talk about what just makes me mad in the world.
Well, let's talk about all the reasons we have to live.
Okay.
All right. Look, if you wake up and you have a clue where you are, that's a super reason to live. If you show up to work and a lady in your office wants to report, quote, paranormal suspicious activity, and she's dead serious, and she puts it in her witness statement that is definitely worth living for. However, if there is no paranormal suspicious activity box to check on the report, then she's going to try to get her IT guy on that. She says that if you have a client at a nutrition services, which is a Native American grocery store, that is mad enough to throw frozen bison and powdered eggs at an employee because they are out of hamburger meat, and then you get to use your taser. Ooh. That is an excellent reason to live.
I can see that.
And then, finally, on a serious note, knowing that Jesus died for my sins and rose on the third day and conquered death, that is the very best reason to live. Grace, baby. Paul says it best, for by grace are ye saved through faith. I really love that at the end of every podcast, John says that he loves us.
That's right.
That is one of the first things I noticed, so thanks, guys, and I love y'all too. Kimmy Patterson. Thank you so much,
Kimmy.
Patrol Officer Kimmy Patterson.
That's right. Kimmy's a great listener.
Yes, awesome listener.
Right.
Thank you so much.
She's in the Listener Hall of Fame. Yeah. We got a few in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, that's awesome. That's very heartwarming.
It is.
And
I would really have liked to have seen that taser. I wonder how many times she's gotten to use that taser. That's got to be pretty fun.
I don't know. I would like to have a taser. You know?
I know I would get in trouble with it.
Definitely
and it would be bad for me. But yeah, I kind of would too.
You know, I don't know if I've told this story before about a friend who got kicked out of Floribama. The Floribama is, for any of our listeners, if we keep this in the show, is a bar right at the Florida.
MTV made a show about it.
Oh, did they?
They did.
Oh, I didn't even know. It was right at the Florida and Alabama line. Mm-hmm. Huge bar. He had a few drinks, got kicked out, was walking back to his beach house or condo or wherever it was down the side of the road there. And he met two older gentlemen coming towards him. And he said about the time he got past them, one of them said something. And he turned around and said, huh? And they jumped on him and started beating him up.
Dadgum.
Now, my friend was in college during this time. And so he was younger and a little more fit. So he was able to hold them off for a while. But he said about the time they were about to get the best of him, they both just fell off of him. And then he got tased.
Oh, and for good measure.
He immediately crapped his pants. So,
I didn't know that was a side effect.
Yeah. And if you know where Fort Alabama is, it's a little bit of a walk to get back to civilization, you know? And so the officer stands them all up, like, asking what's going on. You know, he's like, hey, I was just walking down the street. These people attacked me. You know, it's 2-on-1. I'm not trying to pick a fight with these people. And so the officer's like, all of a sudden's like, hey, did you crap your pants? And he's like, yeah, I did. And he was like, oh, okay, all right. We you know, whatever, and finishes all the questions, and they all agree.
We were going to offer you a ride, but we're not now.
Yeah. They all agree not to press charges on each other. And that's what they told him. They were like, well, man, we would give you a ride back, but not now. You got to walk. And so he had to walk half drunk, half beat up with crap in his pants all the way back to his condo. Yeah. So,
why did they jump on him? He still don't know this day?
No idea. He said once he like passed them by, you know, they were walking the opposite direction. When he passed them by, he said about 2 steps, one of them said something, he turned around and they just jumped on him.
Oof, man.
Who knows if they thought he was somebody else or they were trying to rob him or what.
But he agreed not to press charges.
Yeah, because the cops didn't know who started it.
Right.
So the other 2 guys could have pressed charges against him for assault. And then, you know, and so they all just agreed, like, well, all right, this is over. We'll go our separate ways, which is, hey, that's really the way the justice systems have worked. Let's not get all this tied up in the courts, you know?
Yeah.
And they would all probably had to ride the back of the patrol car with him in his crappy pants. Yeah. But I think about that. I'm like, man, what if I ever get tased and I just crap my pants, you know? Like, that would be bad.
Don't hold it. Don't store it up.
Yeah, no.
Because you never know when you're going to get
right.
tased.
You never know. Yeah, you want to have a clean colon whenever you can. We want to thank our sponsor, world famous Cajun Curl Bayou Blended Spice, for their support. Check them out at CajunCurl.com. On the website there, you can order Cajun Curl, the spice, and the cutter for potatoes, all on CajunCurl.com. It was created on the Elm Bayou in Evangeline Parish, Louisiana, and it's a seasoning that goes on everything. If you like cooking or eating, this is a spice for you. Cajun Curl Bayou Blended Spice goes well with chicken, beef, pork, potatoes, bull semen, and anything else you can think of putting it on. The spiral potato cutter is absolutely amazing. It's easy to use, easy to clean, and will allow you to make your own chips using the Cajun Curl spice. If you want to turn your next cookout or event up a notch, imagine whipping up a batch of homemade potato chips. Your next door neighbor isn't going to be able to top that. And let me tell you, the homemade chips with Cajun Curl Bayou Blended Spice on them will change your life. For real. On the website, CajunCurl.com, you can not only order the original Bayou Blended Spice, but the chip cutter as well. And you'll find recipes that are absolutely mind-blowing. You can locate your nearest retailer, or you can order your own. If your local grocer doesn't carry world-famous Cajun Curl Bayou Blended Spice, ask them to start stocking it now. Tell them to use our promo code when they order.
They do, yeah.
Yeah, get a case in. Order it off the website, use our promo code. They're saving money, right?
Right.
Anyways, here locally, it's available at Vowels on Skyland, South's Finest Meats, and Mark's Mart in Northport, and Piggly Wiggly in Northport. And possibly Cash Savers on Skyland, but I don't know for sure. I just know that Cajun Curl was there this weekend.
Okay.
I saw it on their Facebook page. Join their Facebook page if you hadn't followed them. They put all kind of cool recipes and stuff up. It's pretty awesome too. Throw that little social media push in there for free, squirrel. All of their products are made in the USA. So not only do you enjoy the taste of Cajun Curl, but you also feel patriotic while you enjoy your meal. It's all natural, low salt, and it has a little kick to it, but it doesn't burn your lips. All right, listen up. World famous Cajun Curl Bayou Blended Spice. Taste the spice, but not the heat. Go to CajunCurl.com, check them out, and use promo code EOP10. That's EOP and the number 10 to get a 10% discount.
Because we ask that you use the spice, we don't ask you to pay full price.
That's right.
Well, John, since my phone for some reason cannot connect to Apple Podcast, and you don't ever read the reviews, you want to do the reviews this week?
Absolutely. We got a couple.
Okay.
All right. The first one is our second ever 1-star review.
Oh.
I mean,
it was bound to happen, I suppose.
This must be they must be kin to whatever that guy's name was, like Pork Soda or whatever it was.
Big Buck Down.
Yeah, Big Bug Down. That's right.
Yes.
All right, so this comes to us from Coffee Time 18.
Okay. That's such a cute username.
It is.
To be really giving us a bad review.
It really is. The headline is awful.
Okay.
And 1 star. And the body of the review just says, not great.
Well, now, is it awful or is it not great? I feel like that's a pretty big distinction, Coffee Time. Come on.
I just would like to extend a bounty on Coffee Time 18. If we can just find him or her, would like to just discuss with them what's going on. You know?
I mean, you could have maybe give us a little bit more feedback.
Right, yeah. Like, hey, these rednecks are idiots, or it sounds bad, or whatever. You know? I don't like the material.
Or I love Jerry Falwell Jr.
Exactly, yeah, right,
You talked bad about him.
Or I want my husband to go underwater and propose to me or whatever, you know?
But here's the thing, okay? If we have an awful podcast, then I get the 1 star.
Yeah.
But if you're going to go say it's not great,
yeah,
you can give a not great review 2 stars.
Yeah. Right.
Maybe even 3.
Yeah, that's true.
Because there's a lot of podcasts that are mediocre that aren't great.
Yeah.
That get more than 1 star.
Well, I mean, we can't make everybody happy.
We can't. It was bound to happen. As the show grows,
right,
and as the downloads increase, we're not, like you say, we're not going to make everybody happy.
I'll be honest, I listen to our show too. Sometimes we are not great. Okay? Yeah. Let's just all be honest here. We don't hit a home run every episode.
We don't.
Okay, so it's kind of like the Grateful Dead. Some of the shows are bad, but some of them are really good. So you just got to stick with us for the experience.
And I would like to remind everybody that the price is right.
Oh, yeah. Yes, definitely. Well, let's move on to another episode or another review. This comes from Miles West.
Okay.
The title is Very Funny, and it's 5 stars. And it says, very funny banter between these 2 guys. Great stress relief to hear these 2 joke about the news. Addicted.
All right.
Yeah. I'm glad you're addicted. Well, of all the things to get addicted to, our show would be a great one.
So, confirmed, Miles West Smart, Coffee Time. Not great.
Yeah, that's right. Well, it's like Coffee Time 18. It makes me think that Coffee Time 18 is like an 18-year-old.
Right.
You know? And I'm not saying all 18-year-olds are dumb, but I was dumb when I was 18, right? Yeah. I didn't understand a whole lot, you know? And we're probably not appealing to too many 18-year-olds anyway.
Probably not.
Yeah, I talk about it with the college group, you know. Mm-hmm. I've dropped our podcast reference several times, and nobody's been like, oh, yeah, it's great. I listened to it. Like, so, okay, guys, that's cool. All right, that's fine.
Well, you know, podcasts, that's just not their generation.
I guess I don't know what they're into now. I don't.
Pokemon cards.
Probably so, a bunch of nerds. They are a bunch of nerds. Yeah. Now that I think about it, all of them are. Yeah, the ones that aren't nerds don't come on Sunday night. So,
and they probably listen to our show.
Maybe so. Yeah, I could see that.
Well,
this is why I got fired from teaching Sunday school. Now I'm back on Sunday nights. They bumped me down to like AAA baseball,
which I mean should just illustrate to everybody how hard up we are for Sunday school teachers.
It's true. That's right. If you're in like college ministry anywhere, you're looking for a change, maybe come talk to us at CCBC. Yeah. You know? I'm not saying we can pay you, but you could get some experience. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we're having fun with the college group, by the way, just in case anybody really is listening. And you guys aren't nerds, and you're much cooler than me. And thanks for laughing at my jokes. So.
All right. Well, you got anything else? I think we can wrap that one up, put a bow on it, spank it on the bottom, and send it out into the internet.
We do have one more review, but do you want to wait on it?
We can wait on it.
All right. Okay. Yeah, we'll save it for next week.
Okay.
And send us Coffee Time 18's head on a platter. All right. Yes. That's all we're asking. I'm kidding. Don't hurt anybody. And Coffee Time, if you just happen to listen to this again, I just want you to know I love you. And I can understand why you don't like us because we're probably an acquired taste. We're like beer or black coffee.
And delete us off of your podcasting app because you're not allowed to listen to this anymore.
No, keep us. Just keep us on there so we get the downloads. All right, let's just keep that going. That's fine.
All right. Well, you have been listening to Earth Oddity Podcast, and we thank you so much for listening to us, no matter where you get us, whether you get us from Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify. We're on them all.
Everywhere.
If you would like to write into the show, you can write into us. We are earthoddity@planetmail.net. If you'd like to tweet at us, you can tweet at us at _earthoddity.
You can try to find me on Twitter.
You can try to find John, but you will fail.
That's right. Only 2 people have, and Tiny. So 3 people.
And if you like to look at pictures, sometimes we post pictures.
Yep.
They're _earthoddity on Instagram.
That's right.
And if all that fails, now you never would, but you could call.
Yeah.
We have a phone number. What's that phone number?
It's 662-493-2059. We'll say it again for coffee time. I would like to have them call in. 662-493-2059.
We hope everyone out there has an excellent week, except for coffee time. We hope you have a terrible week.
Your week's bad. Hope it's like my weeks.
But everybody else, we hope you have a good week.
Yeah.
Earth Oddity for the Fringe Radio Network signing off.
Love y'all.
Bye.
This has been a very odd production. Thanks for listening.